What's up, Team No T, and welcome back to Unwrapped, our own news. And look, this is more speculation than news, but I thought I'd run it past you all since there has been an ongoing conversation over on the social medias about what this is. And I know y'all looking at this like this is just Donald Trump looking his regular fluffy self. But no, if you look a little closer, and I mean a little bit closer, you will see the rectangular shape of something under his jacket, and he's looking a little more lumpy and bumpy than usual in these pictures. Now, you guys know that I'm not a medical professional, so take all my speculation with a grain of salt. But when we look at this picture of Donald Trump, he does look more bulky, like there is something else under that jacket. And that is where the conversation has been taking off on social media. We know, despite what this White House is telling us, that something is going on with Donald Trump. We had that few days that he went missing about a month ago, maybe a little over a month ago. And then we got the word that he had a recent MRI and another one of those cognitive assessments. Now, this is not something that we just do just to be doing it. Something is making his doctors, his handlers even, a little bit nervous about what might be going on with Donald Trump's health. And I've got a little speculation. Again, I don't have anything to support what I'm saying besides my gut feeling and the fact that I have a loved one, my best friend, who has some kinds of heart issues that may or may not be similar to what Donald Trump could be experiencing. So I guess I'm mostly bringing this up because I want to rule out one thing that a lot of people have been speculating about on threads, specifically as far as social medias goes. And they say that they believe what he has is an LVAD, a left ventricular assistive device, and that is nothing to toy around with. However, I can almost be certain that this is not an LVAD. Famously, our former Vice President Dick Cheney has an LVAD, but also my best friend has an LVAD. And an LVAD requires an open heart surgery. I'm pretty certain that Donald Trump has not been out of our sight long enough to have had an LVAD placed on his heart. So we can rule that out because that has an extensive recovery procedure, and people are on their butt. People a lot younger than Donald Trump are on their ass for a long time when they have an LVAD placed on them. However, there is another option of what this could be. That other option could be a life vest defibrillator. It's also known as a wearable cardioverter defibrillator. This is a WCD, and it's a portable device that monitors and protects individuals at risk of sudden cardiac death. This device does not require a surgery. In fact, it is worn over the chest, similar to a vest. I'm going to place a picture here so you can see. It will require daily monitoring and battery changes, and it does require some type of maintenance in use or getting used to having this device on you. And that makes more sense to me than any other device because we can clearly see that there is something bulky under his jacket, and we see the rectangular imprint in his jacket that makes it look like there is something there. Another thing that kind of supports the fact that Trump may have a serious heart issue is that he has chronic venous insufficiency. We have seen his extremities swell up. So that is his body retaining fluids. Now, they say CVI is a condition where the veins in the legs don't function properly, leading to poor blood flow back to the heart. But he could also be retaining fluids. And that is another earmark of a serious heart condition. When an individual retains water, especially from having a heart condition, they may periodically have to go to the hospital and have those fluids drained off of their body just to keep it from gathering around their heart. But as that fluid is building up and before it is drained off of your body, you become sluggish. Your movements become sluggish. Your extremities become heavy. My father used to experience this, but once he came out of the hospital and after having that fluid drained off of him, he was able to regain a lot of his mobility. If we have been paying attention to Donald Trump, it seems that he is dragging his legs and dragging his feet when he walks. I truly believe that Donald Trump has something more serious than chronic venous insufficiency. I think that Donald Trump is dealing with some type of heart issue and it's serious enough for him to need a life vest. I think it's important for us to discuss these things because it appears that the White House is not being upfront about the president's health. And it might not make a difference if they weren't the people who were pointing the fingers at the previous administration for hiding parts of Joe Biden's decline. We are seeing in real time the decline of Donald Trump. That's one thing that's different about him than Biden. Biden did not have to have the camera on him all the time. Trump needs that camera. He needs to stay in constant contact with the rest of the members of his cult so he can keep the brainwashing going. But we are not fooled by what we see. And what we see is a man who is tremendously unhealthy, and he is still attempting to fool the American people. But I wouldn't even say it's just Trump who's trying to fool the American people. No, we have people like Stephen Miller that is in the White House who knows that he does not have the charisma, he does not have the magnetism that a Donald Trump has over the members of MAGA. So they have to push as much stuff through while they have Donald Trump propped up. They are not giving that man the opportunity to sit down and rest. He's staying in front of the cameras. And of course, it's still, if he didn't appear in front of the cameras, we would still be asking questions because it's so out of character for him. But I believe the desperation in Stephen Miller and the rest of the Trump administration, knowing that they cannot keep this thing afloat without Donald Trump. They need him. They need the hold that he has over his base. They need him. And if he goes, they know that their opportunities to push through so much more of what they had from Project 2025 and whatever other heinous legislation that they can put through in Donald Trump's name. They're trying to do it now because they know that there might not be a later. And with the situation going on with JD Vance right now, the allegations surrounding him, and I mean, these are allegations of the court of public opinion. Nobody has made a serious, verifiable allegation against him and his behavior with Erica Kirk. But that's something that a lot of Trump's base is not going to go for. That type of in your face impropriety between a widow and a married man. So I said all that to say this. We need to keep our eyes on Donald Trump. If he goes missing for a day or two, he could be getting fluids drained from his body. If he goes missing for longer periods than that, it could be because of him having some type of serious health issue surrounding his heart. And I'm going to keep my eyes open to see if we see the imprints of this life vest or alleged life vest under his jacket in future appearances. But yeah, you guys tell me what you think. Does it appear that this device looks like the imprint that we're seeing under Donald Trump's jacket. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.